happen here. See who is going to be at what level, because I feel like Raptor versus Sponge might be a little bit of that as we are looking for Sponge to make a bit of a bounce back here, moving into this game number 1 of our final best of 3 of the year in the regular season. BNK FEARX versus Nongshim, Poppy, and the Vi both taken away already as we jump into Champion Select.
Pantheon gone. Still leaving that Cassiopeia and Orianna up. That's kind of been a little... The way that this has been played in more modern times is you save those for last. And if you are the team that has the last ban, you're the one who has to make the choice. If they ban one, will you match it? Or is it going to be just a trade and leaving both up, which has been a little bit more common recently, but we have sometimes seen Orianna left, but Cassio banned. Cassio is winning the matchup right now in the lane, something that we just witnessed earlier with Faker playing the Orianna, something Cadril went on a tirade about on the stream earlier.
Yeah.
As the Orianna will be banned, and not the Cassio, interestingly. So looking for that first pick Cassio, forcing now Nongshim RedForce to likely ban it as well.
And this is the beautiful thing, and I'm really glad that you brought up the Cadril tirade, because I think it's somewhat warranted. Recency bias is a huge thing, and we all fall for the trap, as the Ryze will be the first pick here for BNK FEARX.
Without a Pantheon, though. So just a Ryze in isolation. We'll see what the response is going to be. Yeah, that's the other thing that's up. It's a lot of strong picks you can go with. I mean, Nocturne Aurora is a really strong one. We don't see that too often these days anymore. Well, mostly because the Nocturne is basically permanently banned here in the LCK. They're going to go for the Ezreal lane on the bottom side instead. Bard is also available. So do they want to go for the Karma, or do they want to try to play Ezreal Bard?
They have to pick Nocturne, right? Isn't that... I thought it's illegal to not.
Well, then you're going to give up that strong support.
I mean, but they're not going to pick Bard and Karma, are they?
No.
So I guess
that'd
it's
be
probably
funny,
going to be okay. It would be very funny.
Scout mid Karma incoming.
Yeah, we must deny it, as it's a Lee Sin instead.
I mean, Nocturne's early levels a little bit difficult to pilot, but now it's Ryze plus Nocturne double global if they lock it in here, as long as they can stabilize in the laning phase. Or you just go Caitlyn Bard, by the way, because you need to deal with this Ezreal lane, which could be a problem.
It's Jarvan. Okay.
It is.
There's just no Nocturne. Not today.
We're just playing a completely different game here in the Ryze group.
We certainly are. The Rumble is going to be picked up here for Clear as well. Really good to take that out and fearlessly ban it away from Kingen as well for the rest of the series. But now it gives Kingen the opportunity to answer it, and that is a Camille opportunity. Wow, if there's ever a time to ban Galio, it is right now, immediately, for BNK FEARX.
I think they absolutely will, if this is locked in, which it looks like it will be. So probably for Kingen, tough matchup on the top side for the Rumble, especially if the Camille gets some jungle attention.
Yeah,
but it could also be played by Lehends because Ezreal Camille is a powerful lane. But now it's really awkward to ban. Like, do you still ban the Karma? Are you worried about that? You know, that's a tricky question that BNK are going to have to find the answer to.
Looks like Nongshim are already playing into it as well. The Shen has been the best answer in the bottom lane to the Camille. And so making it look like that's where they want to be playing it.
Yeah, it's funny, too, because I feel like you can absolutely play Ezreal Camille because you have so much engaged with the Camille already. Galio was pretty obvious, as you pointed out, so that one is now
It's also
goner.
A good ban, like, to stop Scout from playing it, but to also stop Kingen from playing it into the Rumble, which is kind of funny. So, like, doing double duty there is the Galio ban.
So this final ban is here. If it's a Leona ban, I'm like, all right, we're selling it really hard, aren't we?
Okay.
We'll see.
I mean, Leona plus Jarvan and the Rumble is a very, very powerful combo. So understandably, they're going to be banning that one away anyway, but it's somewhat suspect. Okay.
The
Syndra
ban. Okay, so it's just keeping the focus on this Ryze pick. They didn't go for the Nocturne. Neither team did. The Lee Sin was the opt-in here, so a few different picks you can go for. Depending on how they want to play this bottom lane, it could be the lock angle for Scout, but it's so tough into the Ryze and the Jarvan. So I don't know if he's going to commit. I mean, they have great setup with the Camille. And it's Scout, so we always have to consider that possibility.
Yeah.
He also likes the Anivia.
He has been he was the first one to make this matchup look unplayable for Ryze. It has since not necessarily been as much.
So do you just go Caitlyn Bard because it's the easiest way to set up this bottom lane for success, regardless of whether the Camille is going to be here?
No. You play Kai'Sa Rakan.
Caitlyn Bard.
Okay. Caitlyn Bard will have
Caitlyn
it.
Bard. I
thought I could trust Taeyoon to play some Kai'Sa, but it's not happening.
It wins against Camille. It does pretty good against Karma.
Yeah,
So
I mean, this is obviously the better choice, Wolf, but wouldn't it have been fun?
It would have been. Well, I'm not gonna answer that question actually.
All right,
We have seen it before.
Where is Camille going?
I think she's going to the top lane, and I think they're gonna pick Karma. Otherwise, it's Nico, right? Oh man, trying to play Camille Ezreal into Caitlyn
But I mean,
Bard
you
is
get
a
to
challenge.
But the thing is, you get to put the Camille in the Bard lane, right? And so once you hit level 6, you can stop Bard from escaping anything if you want to. So it could be a difficult one for Kellin after a bit. And we'll see whether Diable and Lehends can avoid falling too far behind early.
I like the draft a lot more here for Nongshim RedForce in this one. I think they have so many comfort picks across the board here. You mentioned Scout being a master of the Anivia. Diable's Ezreal was something we feared as far back as Challengers when he was on Live Sandbox's youth squad.
Yep.
We look at BNK's draft. They have good setup for the Rumble. They have a little bit of global presence to play around with this Ryze, but the bottom lane leaves a lot to be desired here for me. The bottom side is the part where they have the really strong point. We'll see if they can play through it. The Camille's the big question mark. What can Lehends do on this? He's been struggling a lot recently.
It has been a tough time for Lehends. My goodness, that is so much popcorn. What is he going to do with all that popcorn?
It says free popcorn's the best.
Wow.
He got it for free.
He got that amount for free? Chijijik, thank you so much. That's absolutely incredible. Just a gigantic amount of popcorn. If he's listening to the English broadcast, I can see him right here, actually. Oh, man, that looks so good. All right, let's go to the Rift game 1. Yeah, popcorn, that's great.
You think he'll get through it throughout the series? You think he'll eat the whole thing?
Based on the pace that he's on right now, it may not make it through game 1.
I mean, when you have a big bucket of popcorn when you go to the theater, you often get through a relatively small. It depends on the movie, though. But if this goes 3 games, it's at least 3 hours, right?
I mean he's going to need another box, I think. That's what I'm assuming. I think the Ryze group is going to deliver here today.
I'm curious to see, what if you watch Titanic, what size he got. He might be a little too young to have watched Titanic in theater like you and I did, but
I think, it might have, unless it was a re-release. They do that in Korea quite often.
Yeah, that's true.
What was that? There was one recently that was very confusing as a re-release, but I can't quite remember what it was.
The amount of times Star Wars, the original trilogy, and even the prequels have been re-released is pretty crazy. As we have a wonky engage.
Yeah, Lehends going in, but does find himself kind of alone. Diable also down to about 50%, so Taeyoon and Kellin having a very good time so far in this lane.
Well, we'll keep you guys updated on Popcorn Guy as the night goes on.
It's looking at about 3/4, maybe a little more so far still left in the box. Diable on Lehends, looking for that level 2. They will be able to get it. Taeyoon unfortunately missed experience on 1 minion. Actually 2 by the looks of it.
Yeah, that's going to hurt because they want to have that level 2 to really continue to pressure here.
Kind of crazy.
It's actually,
oh no, it's probably just 1 just because Kellin got solo experience for one of them.
It's like, the matchup here for Diable Lehends is they just really feel like they have a long leash they can play with. They got the level 2 advantage. Lehends happy with how his first hookshot engage went, and so as a result, they're kind of chilling, which I really didn't expect this matchup was going to be played that way, because when we see it in the Legend group with Camille plus anyone into the Bard Caitlyn, it's rough.
Yeah. Normally it should be going pretty well, but not to be the case for now. And I think it's all about level up timings and things like that, the way the lane state was situated. Minions at this level can definitely allocate a fair bit of damage themselves. That's a great Cosmic Binding, though, as Diable going to get headshotted, perhaps? No, not quite. It does at least get hit by the full Peacemaker.
Couldn't get the trap up in time for the combo there, as this is going to be Diable having to head home. Kellin wants to stop him.
Oh, if he had just randomly thrown a Q over there into the alcove, that would have been so bad.
That could have lost the game for Nongshim. Interesting stat, by the way, the craziest thing I think I've seen today. Lehends Camille. 0-1. He has played the champion 1 time. It's Lehends.
That's kind of crazy.
That is insane to me. He played it obviously a lot more in Kespa Cup, but that's unreal, that stat. Like, you would think he'd be, you know, it wouldn't necessarily be a positive win rate because Nongshan were 9-16, but I would have thought like 5 games at minimum.
Yeah. Just hasn't been the one playing it. Has been playing into it, I assume, more often than not. But now you can see, I mean, the bottom side of the map is going just fine. Diable is only a couple of CS behind. He's actually going to make it back to the lane before Taeyoon. And so you can see here at 27 is just going to be equalized. Kingen versus Clear in this top lane. Going just fine on either side. I don't think you're really going to be writing home about much. Mid lane is exactly the same situation. And so we're going to be glued to the jungle, Wolf.
We are. And where these junglers do decide to put down that pressure, path top side right now, see if those level 6 timings for those top laners end up being really impactful. Ooh, that barrier, you heard the sound,
even notice,
but you didn't see the shield.
Damn.
Really well timed by Diable. That's a good sign. If you don't actually see that shield, it means you did it at the right moment.
Lehends is going to wall dive onto Kellin. They take the magical journey. They're just looking for Diable. Cosmic Binding to slow him down, and they'll get the flash out of the Ezreal here as Lehends just walks past with full health. Yeah, Taeyoon and Kellin are just running this lane.
Yeah, it was a bit of a slow start, but they got there eventually. And unfortunately for Diable, he's now down both summoners. And Lehends is left alone to try to deal with this thinned out wave. Get that farm.
Yeah, he is at least going to be able to get the experience here, but that is plate number 1 going over to the Caitlyn.
The other thing about picking this Camille, I mean, it was a flex, right? Like, I'm not that well versed, I'll be honest with you guys, about Camille versus Rumble these days. Both those champions have been changed a lot since the last time they were popular mainstays. Like, Rumble was permanently banned for a really long time, but the bottom lane being pushed in always means that Lehends can't roam on Camille. So, like, half of the reason why you pick Camille is to get out there and get it done. CVMax is here, by the way, today.
Hi, CVMax.
I saw him early in the hallway, said hello to me. He seems like he's in a good mood. Not sure why he's here, but maybe just scouting for playoffs.
They're just seeing what's going on. Has a bit of time. As DK are going to be waiting in the playoffs, not having to worry about the play-ins this time around. Must feel good, as they were kings of the Ryze group in the last season. Now being able to find a little bit more success and therefore get to a little bit of avoiding the
Cool to see
rounds.
a coach, you know, just taking a day off, though, even in the most intense part of the season where you're prepping for playoffs and, you know, just kind of enjoying Ballpark from a different view as we have a bit of a fight here. Sponge getting low.
Yeah, taking a lot of damage. Does have to flash, but VicLa is going to get on top of him. Raptor is moving forward, but he's the first to go down. It's Lehends that gets the kill. Taeyoon, though, able to immediately answer back, and now VicLa will be able to put down that Camille. Scout at full health, but doesn't have a whole lot of mana here. As in this mid lane, it looks like VicLa is still going to be just okay, and will be able to take out this wave.
Yeah. Going to be able to crush this wave. Scout's super low on mana, so even with the stun, it's a good stun, but it won't mean anything really, as it's a kill for a Ryze, a kill for a Caitlyn, and on the other side, Camille is the one who gets the money. So initially here, Sponge takes so much damage and misses this Q as well, so Raptor goes in. He's like, well, you're not going to be able to do anything. You don't have any mobility. He has to go to his teammates, so he's used all of his mobility, gets rooted here by VicLa. Then he goes back in, trying to burst down this Jarvan, and he is successful, right? He gets all that extra Q damage, sacrificed himself to get that kill, but Lehends dies on the exit. And it's just a bit of a disaster. The Caitlyn getting this ahead this early is what you want if you're BNK, but not what you're necessarily able to normally accrue as an advantage like this one.
Yeah, especially in a skirmish like that. It's not really the time where the Caitlyn is the most powerful. She's normally about wave manipulation and controlling the bottom lane. And does now manage to get 1-0-1 on the scoreboard. So Taeyoon very happy with how this game's going.
No barrier for Diable now. At least he's able to complete his back. But, I mean, look at the items. It's Berserker's Greaves and a Longsword, and now the Sheen is there. Was not there in that moment right before. But, you know, the disparity in terms of power level right now is quite high.
Yeah, what is Taeyoon actually able to purchase? A pickaxe as well on this back. That is a lot of power here for the Caitlyn.
Very strong. This Ryze is going to be a little bit accelerated, but obviously comes online much later as a real damage threat, so that's not the end of the world. Scout just clear wave still. It's not like his match was ruined by this Swifties pickup here or anything like that.
Yeah. He also manages to get Catalyst first, so I think that Scout is probably pretty happy with how this one's going. But Nongshim looking to start off some grubs, and an Ambessa with some grubs going to feel absolutely fantastic. So that is good news if they're able to lock that one down. It looks like there is going to be no contest as Raptor is hanging out towards that bottom side of the map. And look at this, Diable doesn't know where the Jarvan is. They've got so much vision. Look at BNK's vision around that Dragon Pit. It is kind of absurd, and that's why the Ezreal is forced under this inner turret.
Yeah, you got your grubs. Now watch what a Caitlyn does without them to your turret, and
yeah,
it's pretty rough. Raptor is still here with Cataclysm. And so, Kellin, by the way, also about to be able to turn this turret off. He is like 1 minion away from getting Tempered Fate, significantly faster than Lehends having his ultimate. They're just trying to force a scrap here. They have so much control, and Sponge needs to be careful. No flash.
Gonna get knocked up here, and I don't know what his answer is going to be outside of that kick. So he does use it, gets rid of Raptor. Kellin not able to get a flash play or anything like that. Doesn't actually have the summoner spell available.
It's crazy. Kellin, if he got any experience from anywhere, he would have been able to set up a Tempered Fate to get a kill on that play. 1000% if he has it.
I think he might have got it from killing a ward just then, because he does now have Tempered Fate available.
I don't think those give XP anymore.
All right, so he might have got it from the mid lane or something like that. But it was a very small amount of experience.
Yeah, he needed like anything to die near him that actually gives XP, but Kellin has it now, and he's like, Diable, you're pretty far up, and that's that. If I say so, that's not a turret actually for a few seconds.
All right, so first dragon goes over to BNK FEARX. Second one is going to be an Infernal, and you know what that means. It's definitely a Cloud Soul.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how it goes. Yeah. Casting with you, so.
It's got to be the Earth, Wind, and Fire. I've been denied my Earth, Wind, and Fires. I've been very confident about them, and they just haven't come through. It's been often just Chemtech instead, which is just very sad.
Last game of the season, it's going to pull through for you. Or last series, it's not the last game.
I really appreciate the positive attitude. That's what we need to covet. That's what I'm into. That's all right. Scout just very comfortably clearing out waves over and over again. Does find a really nice stun. This is what he's been doing to our Ryze players over and over again. It's just walling them off, getting guaranteed stuns, and always having the wave clear necessary. And it's good to see that he still has exactly that prepared for this game on the Anivia. VicLa's going to have that back.
He'll go home one day. One day he'll go home. That might be right now, actually. But second time, Scout has annoyed him with a pesky stun.
Oh, Public Execution is just put on cooldown for fun.
Oh, if he got that catch there, would have been so massive because they have so many people here. They're still looking for it.
Oh, yeah, in goes Sponge. Tempered Fate does come down, but I don't know whether that's necessarily helping. Immediate flash out from Clear. Great block from Kellin, but that's only going to give Sponge a Q target, and down will go the Bard. They'll just take whoever's in front and be happy with the kill.
Yeah, Kellin saves the Rumble, but I don't know what it means because they still get a kill. They still have control over this turret. Now, Caitlyn is pushing the bottom turret here. It is a bit of a turret race, and with Kingen still having TP, he's going to defend this, so it looks like Nongshim will eventually get that first turret on the top side.
Yeah, they immediately have Kingen go into a trap, but that's going to be fine.
I said it was a little bit healthier than I thought. Still has 2 plates left, and they do disperse. So I spoke a bit soon on that one. Still a lead in terms of plates here for BNK. Clear doesn't have his equalizer, and there's so many people up here. Kellin wants to use the Tempered Fate to save the day, but he's just not able to do it, as Clear just can't escape while he's in there. Lehends is just waiting for his opportunity to look for an ult. Kellin blocks, and then just finds himself dead as a result. There's no way Raptor can turn this play. There are so many members up there on the top side. They're all up there.
And it has to be said, turning off your own turret is generally not a good idea.
Yeah.
But it was difficult to hit that Tempered Fate onto just Clear without accidentally hitting the turret as well. So a little bit unfortunate for the Bard. Probably wanted to have Clear in a different spot if we wanted to lock that one down. But coordinating that is just real hard.
There's just so many members there that, like, if you try to catch the whole team, you can't catch the whole team. And so the turret is large. It was quite a complex situation to play out. But Kellin, at least he pressed R. He did try to do it.
All right, Kingen back towards his top side now.
This is Taeyoon saying, you know, I'm just going to get plates somewhere else. He's level 9 right now. He is very big in this game. And he's collecting. He's getting all the money, and he's hoping to get some takedowns to actually collect with his collector. But right now, still collecting plates on the push. forcing a reaction here. Now, in the bottom lane, Diable has some free farm over into this Rumble and actually has a jungler set up. They might try to kill clear again. Got away last time with the sacrifice of Kellin. They're not going to commit this time around, though.
Yeah, it doesn't have flash, but does have a turret, so he'll be okay.
Equalizer, too.
As VicLa is finding this lane more and more annoying by the looks of things. That stun is going to miss, but the Glacial Storm. Scout just pulls the minions into it. And yeah, laning into the Anivia, ladies and gentlemen. It's just not that interactive at this stage of the game. As Kingen grabs another plate.
It's going to proc an Overgrowth. And they're grouping on the other side of the map right now. Kellin with his ult back up, looking to try to potentially get this turret off of this wave. Not this one, but the one that's on their team that's coming down. Yep. And with this huge crash with the cannon minion, I think they will get it. What did Nongshim do? Do they cross map onto the Rumble again, or they try to muster up a defense? Like, I think this turret is just go on. I think it's just done.
And now Sponge is looking for a red buff, and it looks like Raptor wants to disallow that from happening as well. And that will lose patience. That's a Realm Warp. And it's not actually going to be taken, but it still will be BNK FEARX grabbing back control of this Brambleback.
Yeah, even going to get it without the smite after having full control there. Sponge wants to look for a punish here onto VicLa, but he's not able to get into Q range. Doesn't have flash. They don't want to ward hop. Now going in.
Yeah, Lehends going to find an angle, but the double knockout from Raptor is absolutely fantastic. He's put into the ultimatum, though, but look at VicLa's damage. Kind of absurd. Still they're going to lose Raptor, but VicLa now just doing whatever he wants in this battle. Nice stun from Scout, though. Have they found the turn? The answer is not quite in the nick of time, but still, Scout is able to find that kill, and now he's on the board.
Scout saving the day there with a 6 stun. That's why he picks this into the Ryze. It's not just for lane. He's doing it in the team fight there as well. A little skirmish in this early game. Gets a little bit messy. So look at Lehends' engage here. Gets turned on, but then he's able to Hextech ultimate a Raptor. Just gets stunned here. But look at all the damage that's coming out from Kellin and VicLa at the same time. Sponge just gets pushed down. VicLa splashes onto him here. And as he tries to chase Lehends, watch this. Scout gets the double stun, and they're both in his ultimate. So taking so much damage, VicLa is barely able to get one last Q off there to get the kill. Otherwise, it would have been even worse.
I actually kind of think that if Lehends had have just wall dove straight back into him, it might have even been worse.
Yes, I agree.
Would have been crazy. All right, Raptor is going to have to flag and drag to get himself out of here. Sponge still looking for the angle. He finds that Q, but doesn't actually go back in on it. Oh my lord. Okay, BNK FEARX is going to be pushed away from this dragon.
Yeah.
The Drakes look to be evened out here. Nongshim staying in this one.
Scout having a day out. Now, it's crazy to me that bottom turret's still alive. I don't think that should be the case, but it is still up. And they're still in a playthrough as they're going to ult Lehends, but no one's here. They could have just ulted the dragon, but also their jungler. I don't know. Okay.
All right. Oh my god. I knew it.
He knew it.
And by I knew it, I mean I'm really glad that it happened. That's what I really mean.
Had a large,
thank you very much.
Large chance of success.
Yep. I'm going to group tonight. I think it's about 25%.
It is actually 25%. That's pretty high for someone just making statements like that.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. All right, Lehends now looking for this top lane and decides instead that he'll save that adventure for another day.
Taeyoon had the push on the bottom lane and decided to drop it to help contest with the Brambleback. And I guess he was trying to leave it up to also deny farm from Diable, but instead he's just gave Diable a little bit longer to have a safe haven to farm into, and then now that turret is still up and they didn't get the money from it, and they're at risk of losing first brick themselves now. I don't want to over-index on this any further, but it is crazy to me that turret is still alive. We're going to see a TP flank here from Kingen.
Yeah, Lehends actually immediately starting off this fight. Puts Raptor in the Hextech ultimatum. True Shot Barrage not exactly doing the most here, as Public Execution going to miss from Kingen, and he gives away his position. The rest of BNK just reform the Phalanx, but Scout doing a lot of work. Sponge going to be put in the Cataclysm, but just kicks Raptor out of it. And the disengage will be successful, but they do not claim control of this river.
Yeah, this is going to be the Herald here for BNK. Since Sponge is so low and is flashless now, he just needs to leave. Diable trying to get control back of this mid wave, but VicLa's going to come over here and clear these waves instead, just to make sure they have full control over the map. Diable getting pushed down.
Yeah, VicLa is almost able to find another Rune Prison there.
If he had...
Diable is still burning.
If he had Summoner spells, Diable dies 1,000% there. Well, so would have Sponge, I suppose, as well.
Yeah.
So maybe he would have then not had them because he killed the Lee Sin. But either way, VicLa cannot actually secure the kill, but gets a lot of push there. And now Taeyoon is just going to pick up right where he where he left off and push this huge wave in here that no one is answering currently.
1.4K now the lead for the Caitlyn.
They could set up for a pretty quick Herald push into that turret. Might want to save it for an upcoming team fight for Dragon, for example, instead. But a lot of gold just waiting to be taken here for BNK in this game that's currently dead even in gold.
Let's see who can actually make the first big lead here in this game. It's Lehends, not with the X-Tech ultimatum just yet. Isn't able to trap Kellin in the river. But Taeyoon just parked in this mid lane very, very happily, getting these waves shoved in over and over again. BNK, I think they can kind of set the pace as much as they would like. But Nongshim might be able to find an opportunistic fight, right? And Sponge, I think, has been getting his eye in as this game has gone. I think his early few skirmishes didn't look very good. Did find some angles after that. As Lehends going to get tempered faded.
This time this follow-up.
Yeah, it does get knocked up. Oh, never mind. Actually just going to throw down the ulti, but I don't think it's going to save him. And in fact, he's just dead.
Okay, well, Caster Curse strikes again, but does end up getting his 4th death of the game on this Camille. And it's just Herald time. You know, there's no support here, no punish. They decide to send it bottom lane, though.
Where are we driving here, Raptor?
Bottom lane.
He is just going to get the charge into this bottom lane turret that had 0 health anyway.
But now they have to defend, and
oh dear! Okay, yeah, Sponge is just dead. Cataclysm is going to come down on top of Kingen as well. He's going to try and keep himself alive. Scout making his way over. The Magical Journey comes in. That is a dead Jarvan, and now Kellin will be following suit, possibly a kill to go over to Diable. Yeah, that wasn't the Herald that you really wanted to get into.
By the way, Taeyoon, what I was going to say is they're pushing both solo lanes right now with Taeyoon in the mid lane and then the Kingen, or sorry, Clear in the top lane on the Rumble. In this case, it's often Kingen we're talking about.
VicLa is also looking to kill Lehends. He needs a Q.
He just respawned.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was going to say, while they defend, they're going to lose a lot of stuff in the top and mid lane. They kind of, sort of defended, but lost their turret there, lost mid turret, and are practically losing the turret in top lane. And we'll get this turret back here as Scout continues to push into VicLa. It's kind of been a year of VicLa and Scout situation in this game. They're both playing really well individually.
I would agree.
As this was pretty funny to watch how this one went down. As then they decide to go on to Raptor here, or at least like they're thinking about it, and then they just get... It's not even Actualizer, they just get VicLa. He's pretty big on this Ryze in this game.
Yeah.
Scout's not here yet, so they could have actually won the fight if he was there, and as you see when he does show up, they do.
Whoa, we've got even more fights happening here as the Tempered Fate is going to lock down Lehends. Hextech Ultimatum does come in. Wall is down, it's a good stun as Raptor is able to flash out of the way of that True Shot barrage. And now Kingen, can you find the public execution this time as VicLa is going to get jumped on? Equalizer is in an awkward spot, but Kingen is still trying to bounce around the back of this fight. Puts himself inside the wall so he can flash over it. That was sick, and Sponge just murders himself.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Arm guard at the ready. VicLa
is now, oh no, he's in a cage. Diable's able to get that kill. Really beautiful wall.
This is a Ryze group game.
All right, oh, the flash from Taeyoon just shoots Kingen and he's very, very dead. Now Lehends looking for an angle towards his backline, but a couple of bullets will take care of the Camille as well.
Speedy Rumble!
Yeah, Clear is making his way in. Can he find some harpoons onto Diable? The answer is going to be no. But the answer is also no about Nongshim doing anything about this dragon.
Speedy Rumble! That's all I've got to add in this game. It's not a thinking man's game. It's not an analyst's game. It's a play-by-plays game, you know?
I think they forgot that Taeyoon could do shooting.
Yeah, that is a bit of an issue. So the game plan for BNK has been farming Lehends. He keeps respawning around this spot on the map.
Yeah.
And it's Kellin who keeps trying to get him. They actually got him 4 times, and then since then he's kind of been able to wiggle his way out of this. This Equalizer left a lot to be desired here. It makes it a little bit awkward for Diable to play this fight, but otherwise pretty low value. There's forced to flash over the wall here, and as Sponge tries to kill him, he just goes golden and then goes back in with a TP after escaping. That's a really nice catch here on the VicLa, who wants to go for the play on the Kingen there, but didn't have vision, not able to snipe the Ambessa. And then Taeyoon does the shooting. which is, like you said, you know, maybe something they had forgotten about. Lehends tries to go back in, like Sponge before him, and might, you know, I guess you could say meets the same fate, a little bit different who killed him there, but...
And it was also a bit of a miscommunication, right? Lehends is going in, and Scout is putting up a wall so they can leave.
Yeah.
Showing that Nongshim haven't really got that that in-fight communication down pat just yet.
It's such an important series. It's such a high-stakes game where you really want to prove yourself here. But it's getting a little bit chaotic. It's getting a little bit broken down here for Nongshim. This is what we said. They got the caliber of player, but the teamwork sometimes in question.
Yeah, that's going to be the most important after the dust has settled. Scout can actualize.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit longer here for VicLa, who just finishes his rod, so finds himself a full level behind post-rod completion here. Scout, 0 deaths.
He is a monster.
He is quite experienced in terms of what he's been picking up on the map. Is once again trying to find Sponge here.
Yeah, VicLa is going to find Lehends as well. There's some low health bars on Nongshim, but VicLa is now running an awkward way. Does have Kellin there. He can set up a magical journey, as now Diable is kind of separated from the rest of the team.
BNK were just like, what are they doing? Just kind of like left.
I have to admit, I was kind of there with them.
Yeah. Scout's TP, if they went back, if they tried to run back, could have been, you know, he catches them there. He's able to set up a lot of damage. He has his actualizer. Maybe they end up, like if BNK just tried to walk up back through their jungle to escape that situation, they would have run into an Anivia and maybe, you know, Scout picks up like a triple kill. And the fate of this game has changed. Instead, he used his TP and didn't get any value out of it, and BNK maintained their 1,500 gold lead.
Yeah, and now Taeyoon has got 3 items. So wanting to hit 4, obviously, to feel really good about the whole situation, but VicLa is going to be turned on in this bottom side and does just Realm Warp his way out. And Kellin has a magical journey, so he's really catching him there.
2 minutes of Nongshim play has just been them almost getting things and trying really hard to pick people, but just not finding them.
And now Lehends possibly in trouble again. This time Fate's Call is not going to connect. The Sponge goes for the kick play, actually boots VicLa into the wall and then just dies. Public execution, let's go for it again. This time it's successful as down goes the Ryze. Taeyoon now trying to stay in position, immediately clear. Comes on in but does get CC'd. Kingen bouncing around the battlefield and Taeyoon claims another life. Diable trying to get these Mystic shots in, but Raptor is able to get himself out, and it's more kills. Over to this Caitlyn with those 3 items. Scout is actually playing this one very well, though, as I don't know about this one from Kellin, but there's aren't a lot of cooldowns, as Taeyoon will be able to kill this egg. Yeah, splat goes that one.
Yeah, I think that might have been the back-breaking play for BNK.
I don't think their back was feeling fantastic either before that.
Yeah.
Nongshim's, that is.
Yeah, it's not... Ooh, so we're doing the thing where we try to catch Lehends with a Tempered Fate, but he avoids it this time. So then Nongshim are like, all right, they're on Tempered Fate, let's go in. Sponge just gets re-engaged on, and then finally Kingen hits an ult, except he doesn't really like the full end result here. Does, on the initial play, find that success. And as Lehends is going on to clear with a hook shot, then ulting Raptor, he just dies. Clear has his Zonius completed, and, you know, Taeyoon is reminding Nongshim that he shoots at the...
Yeah.
Scout plays this really well. Has the zoning here for Raptor, gets the stun onto Kellin. Kellin's trying to burst him down. He gets the kill there before he ends up going into egg and then dying. But, I mean, it's his first death of the game, and I think it's his first egg of the game. I just don't really have anything bad to say about how Scout is playing individually. I think it'd be an insult to do so. He's actually playing incredibly well, but the team needs to work together a little bit better.
And Sponge, I mean, he's still going for things. You can see he's in position to try for a play. As now Scout looking for Raptor, gets put to the Tempered Fate as the Equalizer goes down. Not exactly great synergy there. Actually elects to go golden as the Peacemaker flies over the top. Oh my god, Taeyoon just executes him from about a 3rd health with 1 headshot. True Shot Barrage is just truly not the Ezreal doing very much. As it turns out, he's put down by Raptor, and BNK FEARX, I think they can just march up this mid lane and break open this game.
It has been, you know, it's 27.5 minutes in this game. It's been non-stop action. 29 kills in this one, but BNK just started winning more and more as Nongshim's attempts to find some sort of coordination got worse and worse as these players got more and more fed. And they're now trying to siege up with this Caitlyn to end the game. 15 seconds on Scout, and I think they just have enough damage.
Yeah, Taeyoon able to create that distance. Into the backline goes Lehends, and Taeyoon, I'm pretty sure he's just saying, you miss me, boys? Because I haven't died this game. I'm 10-0-4, and you waved goodbye to me all those weeks ago. BNK FEARX 1-0 in our final best of 3 of the season.
VicLa with one of his best games over the last half of the season on the Ryze, but the story was about